Guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Ang pag-uusapan po natin in this episode ay yung mga bagong category na pinopropose po ng IRCC for the year 2027. I am referring to the category-based draws under Express Entry. Bakit po mahalagang malaman ito? Well, alam niyo po ba na under Express Entry, I read in an article, over the past years, mula nang nilaunch itong category-based draws, more than 80% po na nabibigyan ng PR under Express Entry, mga taong qualified, okay, eligible dito po sa category-based draws na ito, sa iba't ibang categories. So napakagandang malaman kung ano po yung mga magiging priority ng Canada dito para malaman po ninyo kung sino talaga ang gustong kunin, malaman kung sino po talaga ang gusto ng Canada maging PR. Alright? Okay, ano po ba ang basehan natin? Ito po yan. Just a few days ago, to be specific, August 4, nagbukas po ang IRCC ng consultation for the category-based draws under Express Entry. It will be open, it's open until September 1, no? Pwede kayo sumagot dun sa questionnaire dito. Okay, this is not something new. Every year, mula po nang nilaunch yung category-based draws, talagang nagbubukas ng consultation ng IRCC. Obviously, to get inputs, suggestions, comments, sa iba't ibang categories. Kasabay na po dyan, madalas nabibigay po sila ng mga ideas, proposals na mga bagong categories na gusto po nilang i-pursue. At sa totoo lang guys, ito po ang observation ng marami dyan. Kung ano po yung nakasulat na proposed categories, plus yun po talaga ang nagiging ending. Yun po talaga ang nakikita sa sumunod na taon. Okay, but again, right now, nasa consultation period pa po tayo. Now, let's go to this, no? Again, pwede nyo po i-access ito ng sarili ninyo, no? I-google nyo lang po yung title na yan and I'm sure you will see this. Official po ito from canada.ca. Okay? Mahaba. So, as usual, I will just summarize it for you. Yung specific portions which I think most relevant sa mga viewers po natin dito sa channel. Bibitinin ko lang kayo ng konti, no? Puntahan po muna natin yung sinasabing priorities mismo ng category-based draws. Yung economic goals, no? Bakit ba may ganito? Ano ba yung end goal ng Canada by having these category-based draws? Okay? Andito po yan. Ayan, dito muna tayo yung economic priorities. Okay, mamaya na tong pangalawa na categories under consideration for 2027. Ito po yung economic priorities. Yan, yung tatlong ito, no? Addressing long-term labor shortages, attracting and retaining top talent, at yung pangatlo, supporting economic growth through Francophone immigration. Puntahan ko lang po ng mabilis itong Francophone immigration, It's really very clear to me that the Francophone draws are here to stay. Okay, likely in the same large draws na nakikita natin over the past year or so. Ang nasa immigration levels plan po ng Canada, no, for the year 2026 to 2028, yung allocation for the French speakers, okay, for PR, is slowly increasing. 9% sa 2026, 9.5% in 2027, 10.5% in 2028. At alam nyo ba, no, sabi dito, ang French-speaking admissions, balak po nilang itaas to 12% by the year 2029. Okay, so nakikita ninyo yung trend, talagang pataas pa ng pataas yung allocations para dyan. That is why I am not surprised, no? Guys, magugulat kayo, parami yung kababayan nating nag-enroll sa French classes, lalo na yung talagang hindi na po makahanap ng PR pathway, no? They are placing their bets on these French draws na it appears parang shielded by the constant changes in immigration policy. So far, lahat po nababasa nating mga proposals, plans, ito talagang Francophone draws. Consistently, lagi po siyang priority and yung allocation niya laging malaki. Okay? Sige, puntahan na po natin yung 4 new categories being proposed by IRCC. Makikita nyo po yan pag talagang puntahan nyo na yung questionnaire. Okay? Ito po yan. Yan, this is the questionnaire. Okay, online survey on express entry categories and priorities. Puntahan po natin yung question 13. Doon po natin makikita yan. Okay? Sabi dito, to address this government priority, yung attracting and retaining top talent, Canada has developed several talent-focused strategies and initiatives to attract and retain top talent that can help strengthen Canada's economy. Okay, these initiatives focus on occupations and sectors of national importance. Halimbawa, nasa larangan ng research, AI, STEM. STEM, ang dami nagtatanong. STEM, sinasabi nyo lagi na priority nyo yan, pero bakit napakaliit ng DROS? Totoo nga naman. Anyway, it is still here cited as a priority. Trades, cybersecurity, healthcare, and critical minerals. Okay, ito na po. The new categories could focus on candidates in occupations listed under the global talent stream. So madalas ito po yung mga trabaho in tech and AI. Second, potential new category for 2027, researchers. Okay, researchers to align with the Canada Global Impact or Research Talent Initiative. Sa totoo lang, meron na pong ganitong category, similar category for 2026, yung researchers with Canadian experience. Pero nung nagbasa ako tungkol dito sa nakasulat na Canada Global Impact and Research Talent Initiative, I think na-gets ko kung ano po yung bago. Yung sa 2026 po kasi nag-require ng Canadian experience. Ito po ay may aspetong mag-attract ng mga researchers na wala po sa Canada. Nag-allocate po yung gobyerno ng Canada ng mahigit $1 bilyong na pondo para sa programang ito. At bahagi po ng pondong yan ay para makarecruit sila ng mga researchers in other countries. Pero mukhang hindi po simpleng mga researcher ito, no? Let me just summarize for you some of the things, the descriptions I've seen tungkol sa mga uri ng researchers na ito. No? World-renowned researchers, early career researchers, pero mga promising and who are expected to become future leaders in their fields. At ano po yung larangan ng research na priority po ng Canada? Kabilang po ay yung sa larangan ng AI. Ito, nakita ko quantum technologies, cybersecurity, yung mga ganyang bagay po. So itong category po na ito, no, talagang for the long-term development of Canada. Okay, let's move on. Yung pangatlo, candidates in strategic occupations in shortage or with in-demand skills to support IRCC's international talent strategy. Kasama po dito yung mga nasa emerging technologies, healthcare, skilled trades. So ito medyo broad, no? Tingnan natin kung ano magiging ending nito. Para ang laki ng sakop ng category na ito. At yung pang-apat po, candidates who hold a US H-1B visa primarily in STEM occupations. Ang makikinabang po dito ay obviously yung mga apektado dun sa paghihigpit sa mga workers na merong H-1B visa sa Amerika. Madalas nga po, ito po yung mga nasa larangan ng tech and AI. So Canada really wants to dedicate a category for those people na baka naman daw, kung ayaw nyo na, kung nahihirapan kayo sa US, sa Canada na lang po sila mag-pursue ng kanilang mga careers. So, ito po yung apat na pinopropose. Again, pinopropose pa lang po. Pero uulitin ko, no, based on the previous year's consultations, kung ano po usually yung nag-a-appear ng mga proposed categories po nila, yun din po ang lumalabas sa sunod na taon. And also another thing, reminder, for the year 2026, meron pong 9 na categories, okay, under these category-based draws. Hindi pa po clear sa ngayon, kung lahat po ba yan ay i-retain for 2027, pwede naman, or kung meron po siguro i-modify, some will be removed, and then new categories will be introduced. Okay, before we go, meron lang po akong gustong i-highlight pala, babalikan po lang natin ito. I wanted to show you guys something, and siguro you can also give me your opinions on ano ang interpretation po ninyo dito. Ayan. Okay. Ang sabi po dito, in relation to the new categories under consideration for 2027, more specifically, IRCC sabi, They are considering expanding our approach to attract and retain highly skilled international workers with expertise in occupations that support Canada's economic growth. Okay. We are also considering narrowing the number, babawasan daw yung number, or narrowing the eligibility of categories aimed at addressing labor shortages to support a more strategic focus. Okay, narrowing. Mukhang may babawasan sila, no? Ano po kaya ang ibig sabihin nito? For me, I think this is a clue na under each category, kasi 'di ba po, kada category may specific jobs pa po 'yan eh, na eligible, na pwede ka mag-apply at posible kang ma-draw under that category. I think this is referring to reducing the specific occupations linked to each category. So, isa po yan sa mga aabangan natin, ano? Okay, so yun lang naman po, no? What do you think about these 4 proposed categories? Observation ko, all 4 have something in common. Nagpo-focus sila sa high-skilled, specialized, skilled workers, no? Many of them require advanced education pa, a higher level of education. So for me, this is a signal from IRCC, no? That they're shifting away dun sa konsepto ng filling general labor shortages. They want to focus more on quality, high-skilled, very highly educated immigrants in the coming years. And I think yung mga tina-target po ng workers ngayon, yung nasa mga sektor na meron po talagang long-term impact sa development ng Canada. Well, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. I'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!